Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. Today, we're going to explore a topic that might make you rethink your next school trip. You know, those trips that are supposed to be all fun, games, and a chance to escape the classroom for a bit? Well, sometimes they take a turn for the worse. In today's video, we're counting down the top 5 instances where school trips were meant to be just chill but ended up in some pretty unfortunate circumstances. From sudden weather disasters to wild accidents, these stories will definitely make you gasp. So, buckle up and let's jump right into it. Number 1. Bun in the oven. When you send your child on a school trip, the expectation is that said child returns home in one piece. Well, what would you do if your little girl ended up coming home with a bundle of joy? This was exactly the conundrum that several parents found themselves in 2014, when their teenage girls came back from a school trip only to discover that they had gotten pregnant. According to reports, the 7 girls had accompanied several of their mates from the Bosnian town of Baluka to the country's capital of Sarajevo. The girls, all between the ages of 13 and 15, had been on a 5-day field trip to see the sights of Sarajevo. Their itinerary included visits to museums, restaurants, and other landmarks, but I'm sure their parents never would have guessed that they'd be coming back with pregnancies. As you would expect, the parents of these girls were absolutely furious when they discovered what had happened. Not only had their daughters somehow been impregnated, but no one even knew who had committed such a heinous crime. They demanded answers from the school authorities, but all they got were crickets. At the time, reports had claimed that the trend of teenage pregnancies in Bosnia had been growing. Still, I think I speak for everyone when I say this is the type of stuff that shouldn't be happening under any circumstances whatsoever. Number 2. Hooters for lunch. Back in 2011, a group of 8th graders at Buck Middle School in Pennsylvania were on a field trip to the National Aquarium in Baltimore when they got a little more than they bargained for. According to reports, the students had been split into smaller groups during lunchtime. The goal here was to make it easier for everyone to get lunch by sending each group to a different restaurant. Sadly, this didn't exactly have the effect that teachers had hoped for. As it turned out, one group of about 15 to 20 students ended up at a local Hooters. Now, let's be clear, Hooters isn't a criminal organization or anything, but we all know that the restaurant tends to get more attention for its attractive, scantily clad waitresses than for the quality of its food. I'm not sure who suggested a trip to a Hooters restaurant, but I'm pretty sure that person knew exactly what they were doing. The school superintendent eventually caught wind of this, and while he confirmed that the parents of the children in question had no complaints, he also claimed that he wished the kids had gone to another restaurant instead. You know what? I kind of see his point. Number 3. Earlier on, we covered a case where students were separated based on the color of their skin while on a field trip. How about an instance where they were put apart based on gender? This was apparently the case back in 2012 when an entire school district in Dallas, Texas, decided to take its students to see the inspirational movie Red Tails at a cinema. As reports stated, about 5,700 5th grade boys were sent to the cinema to watch the movie about America's inspirational black U.S. airmen who fought in World War II. However, for some reason, all the students who went for this screening were boys. Speaking to news reporters about the incident, a spokesperson for the school district explained that they figured only boys would enjoy the movie, so they kept the girls back in the schools, showing them a different movie, Akila and the Bee, which told the story of an 11-year-old girl who competed in a national spelling bee. Despite the explanation, a lot of people were baffled by this. In fact, one of the men whose story was told in Red Tails told reporters that he was utterly speechless about the situation. I mean, think about it, Red Tails literally told the story of black airmen who were segregated and prohibited from flying with their white counterparts. And here you had a school district segregating students yet again. Come on, this was definitely not a great look. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Trunkin to Walmart. Hey, look, we all get a bit hungry and decide to go for a snack run every now and then. However, even in the craziest hunger, it kind of makes sense that you'd want to take things carefully as you move. Apparently, Heather Cagle, a middle school teacher from Oklahoma, didn't quite get the memo. Back in December 2014, Heather made national headlines after it was discovered that she had taken a few of her students from Wells Middle School in Catoosa on a quick snack run to a local Walmart. Now, the mere act of taking your students on a quick trip isn't exactly wrong, but as reports explained, Heather literally stuffed 11 of these children into a banged-up Honda Accord to make this trip possible. This included placing 2 in the front seat, 7 in the back seat, and 2 12-year-old girls in the trunk. Yes, in the trunk. To make things worse, Heather left 2 other students back at the school completely unsupervised. Despite knowing she needed the consent of her students' parents before taking them off campus, Heather went ahead anyway. Boy, that sure was one rebellious teacher. When word got out about what Heather had done, she was immediately reported to the school board and placed on leave. A few weeks later, the board voted 4-1 in favor of relieving her of her duties, and she was duly fired. Number 5. Disneyland Prank. Now that I think about it, we all had teachers who were a bit mean to us from time to time. However, I don't think there's any level of meanness that can top our final entry. The story takes us to Rosend Elementary School back in 2013. As reports explained, the students in the 8th grade were suddenly called into a room and told by their teachers that they'd be going to Disneyland as a reward for their impending graduation. The teachers even printed brochures and had presentations, all in the name of getting the students hyped, and hyped they were. The students got prepared for their big trip, but when the day finally came, it turned out that this whole thing was no more than an elaborate prank. Apparently, the teachers just took the kids to a bowling alley and had them bowl all day. On one hand, this prank might seem funny, but for the kids who were fooled into thinking they were going to Disneyland, this was anything but hilarious. To make things worse, the teachers even made videos of the devastated kids and shared them with others. Okay, that's a step too far as I'm concerned. The teachers did apologize, but come on, that was absolutely not cool. Okay, so school trips can be a lot of fun, for sure, but I think we can all agree that you need better preparation and handling if you don't want yours to turn into an absolute snafu. What do you think though? Would you be taking any precautions when your kids are heading out for trips? Let us know in the comments. So that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this time stamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.